Hello and welcome for the 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold and Dorothy Namuyomba on sign language. Without further ado, let's get straight into the bulletin. In President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's address to the nation last night, he maintains that government projects of NAD's parish development model, Emyoga, can be key turning points in the country's economy if well implemented. Now, according to the president, both ordinary and professors can be key beneficiaries, as Robert Onyango reports.
Those are two big ranchers. I have seen them somewhere in you.
In his address to the nation last night, the president took the country through the wealth creation agenda with living examples.
A group yaitwa enyafuniremu bagyeta akweteiro poultry keeping eri ekusangiwa mu Kakumiro district omu Kakumiro town council omusemwema ward omu group yakweteiro poultry keeping mukuranga trezara we group eyo bwire buno omu group eyo abakafunamu PDM tuli 11 baitu bwire buno bona bainohe enkoko ezibakuolekya kandi bafuniremu amagoba na nyowe mfuniremu ebirungi kuonka tingakora mu garosi
kola mu hoteli yibayita tonninyira nankubiriza abakyala bonna okuyingira PDM olw'ensonga PDM erina kyetwongeddeko kyamaanyi okubeera nga tukulaakulana kuba nayongerako bingi bwe nayingira PDM.
Now you can see how the PDM, which started recently, has helped these people. The first of all, the other girl, the first one was selling chicken, getting the ones which are 1 year old, 1 day old, or 1 week old, and fattening them and selling them. And she was, they didn't give their figures. Should encourage them to give figures. But you can see they are happy. Then,
And these were mainly success stories.
Senior citizen Oramwende Senina of Kakumiro West is extremely happy for the president to have such a great vision of the PDM. She received her 1 million shillings and immediately started a piggery project. Senina tells us a very successful and inspiring story. With the success she has so far registered, Senina dreams of expanding the project beyond what she is currently owning.
Kaleta muzeyi nanyi naishiriza muzeyi ya bampa emiliyoni emwe kuruga mu banka beto mu banka tukasigayo emitwalo etange twatunga kyenda n'etaano.
But we have also got the large, when it comes to large-scale agriculture, extensive, different from intensive agriculture. You can see the sugarcane growing, ranching, etc. Let's see those ones also.
The testimonies cut across all sectors of the money economy.
Korea mudungato ni maido da kere. Esa kaswam otomatitu betana. Muogo da Korea nganu nyamat. Nara mami pedori araito bone mami bor ni nyame muogo da Korea nganu nganyam.
The Banyankole say ezimbiraka tama tezibira zindi kuria. Meaning that if one cow has got a swollen mouth, it may not graze. But the cows which are not sick will graze and eat. So those who listen to our advice, they are moving. They are moving.
With live examples of educated youth eating big from the agriculture sector, the president wonders why men still remain for office jobs.
As you hear now, industrial products, $2.5 billion. This is totally new money, which was never there before. And employing almost 1 million people. The whole public service, some few years ago when I checked, was 480,000 people. So the people who are working in the factories now 2 times almost the size of the people working for the government, including the soldiers, the policemen, the civil servants, the local government. The people working in the factories are now bigger in number, almost 2 times.
So the president warns those who want to destabilize the country under the disguise of bad living conditions.
The wealth creators are moving. Join us if you can. But if you can't, don't disturb.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has reiterated that government will not compensate anyone for invading gazetted wetlands. In the Saturday evening address, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni also asked Ugandans to stop blaming government for the calamities arising from their own actions on the environment. More details in this report.
Why is it that the issue of the wetlands and the natural forest is even bigger than life and death? And it is a threat of extinction. That's what I'm telling you.
2 months ago, the National Environment Management Authority started an action to return the degraded wetlands. The restoration exercise commenced with the Lubigi wetland, Naweru and Nansana, where several illegal developments and homesteads were brought down.
The attempts to evict people in Lubigi was in 2012, when major evictions were carried out in Lubigi and resulted into successful eviction of the most famous witch doctor called Bemba Musota.
The exercise returned blame to NEMA for evicting illegal wetland encroachers.
The blame we are putting it to the government. If they had come out to tell us that this is the place, rather the area for NEMA, no one has ever come even to show us that the map for NEMA is here and there.
The affected persons wanted compensation from NEMA, which is contrary to the Environmental Amendment Act.
We have satellite images that can show you what was there 10 years ago, what was there 20 years ago, what was there 30 years ago. So I challenge anybody who says he was there 60 years ago or 40 years ago to bring that evidence and we compare with our evidence.
In the same line of wetland restoration, illegal sand miners were arrested in Mayabujasi, Lwera wetland and Lwanjali wetland in Mukono for illegally dredging sand and filling of the wetland with maram. NEMA also halted developments in Kazi, where one Ashraf of Delight Company had gone against the environmental protection rules by illegally filling part of the wetland with maram.
The individual citizen has a responsibility to protect the environment where they are. So that's why it is a criminal offense for you to encroach.
In his address to the country last evening, President Yoweri Museveni retaliated that government will not compensate anyone for their illegalities of invading gazette wetlands.
It will moreover be another way of encouraging that indiscipline to continue. Because if we compensate this, then the others also will come. Then we compensate them. Then we have already compensated you by not prosecuting you. So you just go. That's a compensation.
Citing out the recent climate calamities of floods and mudslides, the president asked Ugandans to stop blaming government over calamities arising from their own actions. The president noted that government is incurring high costs of filtering water from the chemicals caused by the invasion of wetlands.
They would like the whole of Uganda to be like Karamoja. That's what they are working for.
Underscoring the wetland conservation, President Museveni wants all inhabitants of gazette wetlands to quit peacefully. He also noted that a government won't entertain any further alleged mistakes made on gazette areas like wetlands.
Live peacefully. You have done enough damage. We are not prosecuting you. It is an amnesty.
Wetlands are habitats for different aquatic species, terrestrial, plants and animal species, and their natural filtering systems for water. Susan Naonga reporting for ABC TV.
The Vice President, Major Retired Jessica Alupo, has asked LC1 chairpersons to actively participate in the fight against teenage pregnancies to curb the increasing rate of school dropouts in the country. The Vice President made these remarks as she graced the PTA meeting of St. Elizabeth Girls Secondary School, Kidetok in Serere District.
in 1988, and we were about 200 or 300 as one alone. We were putting on navy blue skirts, and we were very smart. And the whole school around that time was about 1,000 girls. I did not complete my S4 from here because of the insecurity that time. I want to also, against that background, to assure you, the people of Kideto, people of Serere, people of Teso, that government has built enough capacity to guarantee the peace and security for all the people of Uganda. So you, the children, concentrate on your studies. Government now has the capacity to ensure that there is uninterrupted peace across the country and also beyond in our neighborhood. So I'm very glad to be here in my own school. Kidetok St. Elizabeth Senior Secondary School is one of the many USE schools across the country. The idea of establishing UPE and USE schools in the early 2000s was to ensure that education is accessible to all, and also to ensure that education, which is being discharged in these UPE and USE schools, is relevant. But most importantly, it is also of good quality. It is very clear that St. Elizabeth Girls Kidetok fits very well in line with those three principles of education service delivery in our country. And my being here also serves as a reminder to you. My being here is also a privilege to you to reawaken yourselves that as girl children, once you are dedicated and focused, you can achieve any dream of your interest. But most importantly, also that the government of NRM has provided a favorable environment for all the girl children and boy children to compete and serve the country in any capacity. So I hope that the girl children who are in St. Elizabeth, and also those who are not, should be able to look at some of us as role models. Look at some of us as their mentors. I want also to call upon the Patriots who are doing their parade there. Thank you very much for being that drill for us. A clear demonstration that St. Elizabeth Girls Kidetok minds also about producing the cohorts which are nationalistic, which love Africa, which know that socioeconomic transformation is a priority, and also democracy. Thank you, girls. You are very smart in your yellow. And as students, one of the things that you should always remember is to be disciplined, hardworking, God-fearing, be dedicated to your work in class, but also when you are outside class, when you are at home. I call upon all of you also to have that discipline as students, to know that when you have a conflict in school, it should be resolved through dialogue, not strikes. Because when you do strike or demonstrate, there are so many counterproductive outcomes, including destruction of infrastructure, but also loss of time, sometimes even loss of life.
And in our latest news coming in from the United States of America, the US President Joe Biden has announced he is dropping out of the presidential race after mounting calls from Democrats for him to end his re-election bid. He has endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris as the party's new nominee. Now, Biden failed to convince his prominent members of his own party that he can defeat former President Donald Trump in November after his poor performance at the CNN presidential debate in June. It is the first time a U.S. president has exited a re-election run in decades. With Biden out of the race, individual delegates will need to select the party's nominee either during a virtual roll call tentatively scheduled for early August or on convention floor in Chicago next month. But in a phone call with the CNN minutes after Biden announced his exit from the race, Mr. Trump described Biden as the worst president by far in the history of the United States of America. However, according to two sources close to Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris will lay low publicly until after President Biden speaks to the nation following his announcement that he will not seek re-election. We will bring you more updates on this story. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has commended Monsignor Expedito Magembe for his unwavering service that he rendered to the people of God for 50 years of his priestly service. In a speech read for him by the Prime Minister, Robina Nabbanja, Museveni said that Magembe has been a torch-bearer for the gospel beyond the pulpit. Monsignor Expedito Magembe was celebrating his priestly golden jubilee, which is 50 years, at Bukalango Prayer Center in Wakiso District.
Monsignor Magembe celebrated 50 years of priesthood, presided over by the Prime Minister Robina Nabbanja. She represented President Museveni. Museveni says Monsignor Magembe's service is a credible ministry to humanity that deserves celebration in honor of God.
I wish to congratulate Monsignor Magembe for the unwavering service and call he has rendered to the people of God for 50 years, a major and rare milestone in priestly service.
Monsignor Magembe, through the Prime Minister Robina Nabbanja, reminded the President to fulfill his pledge of 1.6 billion shillings to Mount Zion Bukalango Prayer Center to construct a new church and a sisters' convent.
President bwatwagala yatusubiza ebintu bingi nsubira biri kumpi kutandika ne maama ono bana wataddeyo n'atwogererayo.
President had earlier provided 1 billion shillings to kickstart the construction by the UPDF Engineering Brigade, but the works had stalled. The Prime Minister delivered 30 million shillings cash from the President to Monsignor Expedito Magembe for completion of St. Mariko Convent for the Bridges of Lamb Sisters, founded by Monsignor Magembe over 30 years ago. Benon Mukwaya, Jingo Francis, in Wakiso.
Now, for the entire day today, major roads around the Parliament of Uganda have been under strict watch and surveillance by security operatives who are probably preparing for the intended public march to the August House on Tuesday, 23rd July 2024. However, the State Junior Minister in charge of Youth and Children Affairs, Balambaru Gahara, has offered himself to be the bridge between the aggrieved Ugandans and the government, thus offering to meet them on Tuesday at Kololo.
On Sunday, 21st July 2024, security personnel were sighted camped and monitoring major streets surrounding the Parliament of Uganda for the entire day. This is in anticipation of the alleged public march to Parliament on Tuesday, 23rd July 2024.
So my appeal to you young people, kindly stay away from demonstration on 23rd as announced. Let us focus now on dialogue. Dialogue is the way to go. I know, young people, you have so many challenges. Nobody probably if you think about what you feel. But some of you are patriotic, just like I am.
In the last night address to the nation, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni warned the framers of the march, referring to them as risk-takers. And now Youth and Children Affairs Minister, Dr. Balambaru Gahara, has offered himself as a messenger for the aggrieved Ugandans.
Let's not come on the street to burn tires. Let's not come on the street to destroy business. Let's not come on the street to unruly groups that can attack Parliament or that can attack government institutions. we can do it in a civil manner.
With the demonstrations planned for Tuesday, 25 July, Balam will shift office to Kololo ceremonial grounds to receive whoever wants to speak to government.
I appeal to the young people, instead of coming to the street on Tuesday, still I can offer to drive to Kololo. I receive a document from your leaders. Do not come to the streets. Stay away from the streets. Make a document, I'll give it to the president, and you'll have a response as soon as you can. As soon as you can respond, you'll respond to your challenges, and then he can organize a face-to-face interaction with you. If he has met the traders, why can't he meet the young people? We are 78% of the population, so it is not a small percentage of the population as of recently. So the people below 45, let's protect our nation. This country is for me, is for you, is for everybody.
He notes that the sounds ignited by corruption should, however, not be silenced.
It is our duty as elders, and it is our duty as leaders, not to trash whatever you say, but to listen to you, digest what you are saying, and understand the reason why you are raising your concerns. There is no reason why we should destroy and kill our country. There is no reason why a young person should be arrested for demonstrating. There is no reason as why a young person should be beaten for demonstrating, but let's listen to the orders given by the people in power.
Robert Onyango, UBC News.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Local Government, Benjamin Kumumanya, has warned local government against the acts of lobbying for public jobs during the recruitment process. The Permanent Secretary says that all acts that lead to recruitment of unqualified workers will be dealt with in accordance with the law. He was officiating at the closing ceremony of the 2 days Western Regional Training Workshop for the cascading of the balanced scorecard.
Joyce, how are you? Trias? Yes, please. Yakubuka? Yes. In practice, at least 1 week.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Local Government, Benjamin, has warned local government leaders against maliciously fronting unqualified people during recruitment processes. This was during the closing ceremony of a 2-day Western Regional Training Workshop for the cascading of the balanced scorecard.
Vetted and has helped growth in many organizations, most especially our neighbors in Kenya. They have gone ahead, they have given very many products. One of the products they have is an assessment tool where everybody is assessed at the end of the year, and the assessees are placed in 3 categories.
At the same event, Permanent Secretary revealed that government has structured salary enhancement plan that will be implemented in phase, but on basis because of resource envelope.
And we're going to do more interventions to save the people of this country. So that was a very big message. It was an opportunity that we had the human resource officers. We call them PHRO administration. They are the ones who do manpower analysis, the career path development, they prepare submissions, and therefore we are trying to put them on our side as allies.
Kumumanya revealed that any public servant caught in corruption will be punished.
What we have, and I emphasize it to them, these officers are part of the only 380,000 public workers out of a population of 44 million. So I want them to know that this is a calling. They should not take it for granted. It's an opportunity that they are part of that workforce of 380,000. And therefore,
Charity Nahawe and Anyinya Fred for UBC News.
And the Minister of State for National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga, has opened the National Ideology Cadreship training course in Agago District. He emphasizes the importance of the course in enabling cadres to contribute to national development. Ivan Carr reports from Agago District that the course has attracted over 300 participants from Acholi sub-region.
Over 300 individuals are in Agago District for a week-long National Ideology Training Cadreship course organized by the Office of the State Minister for National Guidance, steered by Honorable Godfrey Kabyanga. Participants are from all districts that constitute the Acholi sub-region.
Like head of departments. Another one, we brought in district councillors at the district level. And then we brought in the youth councillors, because we know these are stakeholders. And then we brought in people who does not even think they can reach to discuss issues here, who talks from the back and not knowing what is in front.
Because the category of people whom we have brought here are the key leaders who have positions to talk to our community down there. Because government has done a lot.
The aim of the cadreship course is to inculcate national ideology and mindset change to citizens to be able to steer development in their areas of jurisdiction.
It's also time to network. It's also time to interact with the people and get their real concern, feedback as government.
Day one of the course involved launching the training by the State Minister for National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga, who urged the participants to contribute to national development through preaching productivity while protecting Uganda's identity.
And want to tell you, those 4 sectors, commercial agriculture, manufacturing, services, which include tourism, transport, then ICT, see where you can fix yourself. So there are some things which really want you to take seriously. Work and contribute to national development. Before you blame government, protect your values. You should know what Ugandan values are. And lastly, in Uganda, we are one another's what? Keeper.
The participants were given log sticks and each member donning a UPDF attire.
So we find out that it is easy to use this uniform, the same uniform which is there. We don't have the resources, first of all, to make different categories of uniform. This one just we borrow so that we are unique, but not that there's some issues or element.
State Minister for Economic Monitoring, Beatrice Akelo, emphasized that patience, sacrifice and resilience is key in maintaining focus for service delivery while paying attention to the information shared in such courses.
Information is power. Unless you don't know how to utilize the information that you've been given.
And the moment we come from here, after understanding what the real problem is, then cascading it down to the people will be easier for us. Because once these leaders understand, then the local population will be easy to mobilize.
The course has also attracted members from the opposition party, that is from the Forum for Democratic Change National Unity Platform, the UPC, and upon completion of this course, these will act as change agents in their areas of jurisdiction. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in Agago District.
Thank you, Ivan Kawa. Heads of schools have been also urged to prioritize the teaching of patriotism to learners to instill discipline and love for their country. This was contained in a message for the Commissioner, National Secretariat for Patriotism Cause Office of the President Helen Seku at Mengo Senior Secondary School. She was represented by her assistant, Brenda Tibamwenda, at the passing out of 2,000 school patriots.
In 2009, President Yoweri Museveni introduced the National Secretariat for Patriotic Corps to develop and coordinate patriotism clubs in all positive primary schools and higher institutions of learning. It is also responsible for promoting patriotism ideology in schools.
Deputy head teachers, and all our friends to men.
The launching of patriotism clubs in secondary schools was to nurture the new generation of Ugandans with a positive attitude to their country. Mengo Senior Secondary School was one of the institutions that embraced the president's idea and started the Mengo Patriotic Club. In her message delivered by her assistant, Dr. Brenda Tibamwenda, the Commissioner National Secretariat for Patriotism Corps in the office of the President Helen Seku tasked the decorated patriots to practice the ideologies taught to them.
People have come to understand patriotism as a political thing, which is not true. The patriotism we are teaching is character building. Character building. We want to see Ugandans of tomorrow that are better citizens. We want to see Ugandans that can listen.
In patriotism, we are teaching discipline. Are you disciplined enough for the world to appreciate you? Are you disciplined enough to do the right thing? Or have you chosen to do what you feel you must do?
This was during the pass out of over 2,000 patriots in Mengo Senior Secondary School. Helen Seku urged the school management to inspire learners to love their country.
Excellency came up with this program because he realized that the young people were getting lost. We want to see a generation that is better, that will serve themselves, serve their families, and serve their country. Similarly, the school hosted parents and guardians where they met and supported the sports events. The Minister for Youth, Sports and Arts from Buganda Kingdom, Robert Serwanga Salongo, and the school's head teacher emphasized the importance of integrating academics with co-curricular activities.
Have a command by His Majesty the Kabaka to develop the people in Buganda and in Uganda through talent. And in Buganda, our sports ministry is so wide that we cover so many aspects during our calendar. If you have a child as a parent, you must make sure the school they go to gives you a holistic child who comes out to give this kind of information. A child who plays is a child who is healthy.
Sports helps us to nurture values of humility, and it helps us to use the body as a temple of God. It teaches us self-control and discipline, as it is in 1 Corinthians 9:24-27.
Former Serere woman legislator Alice Alasso challenged the Minister of Education and Sports to implement the new curriculum.
I think that there is a lot that the Ministry of Education ought to do. First, when it comes to the new curriculum, the Ministry of Education hurried to launch it and did not train the people who are supposed to assess, did not equip the schools with the necessary materials. And so we are grappling with the new curriculum.
I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
The State Minister of Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja, has urged Christians to maintain the spirit of generosity in order to serve God. Minister Mayanja, also an evangelist, says giving for the right cause is a landmark in life. He was at the Revival Christian Church in Nakusibyachi, Ndeje, a Kampala suburb.
Faith is both evidence and substance. Evidence. As long as you bring the law and you bring evidence. So faith is evidence. Fair if I don't say something about it. You know, President Museveni inherited a position where land was, the ownership of land was uncertain. 1995, he said this position cannot continue anymore and put a constitution in place which gives protection to Chibanja holder.
Ekuma abantu abayina ebibanja.
And that constitution not only protects,
era semateeka yo nga takuuma tayamba ba bibanja bokka,
but it also promises to give him a title.
Naye ate nga eroobira n'okumuwa obujjajjabi.
Every Ugandan will have security
nga buli munnayuganda alina obuyinza
in perpetuity.
Giant Panda Kindergarten and Primary School have donated essential items to Sanyu Baby's home. The items include sanitary items like baby diapers, soap, slippers, among others. Pupils aged 4 to 10 years from Giant Panda Kindergarten and Primary School visited Sanyu Baby's home with several gifts for the babies.
So bad for the babies we have visited, and I would like to advise you parents to stop abandoning your children. They are innocent. Please don't abandon them. And I'd also like to call upon parents who feel pity and come and donate to Sanyu Baby's home.
I am here to thank my parents for donating, and I advise all schools, parents to come and donate to Sanyu Baby's home. Thank you.
The reason why we are here is to donate to them. I encourage all of you to come and donate.
We inculcate the culture of love, care, and responsibility among these children that we teach in schools. As Giant Panda, these children that have come along with are almost aware of everything that takes place in Sanyu Baby's home. We discover these children don't have their biological parents to take a good care of them, so they need assistance. Schools like Giant Panda, we come up to do that, such that we extend the assistance that can be reached to these children when they have their biological parents.
They deserve to be in a home, in a family setting. So when these children grow up, we go and we trace for families. Sometimes we fail and these children are taken up for adoption and fostering. But sometimes we reunite them with their grandparents, uncles who are willing to take care of these children.
Leaders in Chira municipality have blamed some of the landlords for delaying the construction of Chiwatule Chira Chiwologoma Road project. This comes after some landlords refused to give in land without compensation.
The construction of the Chira Chiwatule Chiwologoma Road in Chira municipality has been delayed after some landlords refused to offer their property without compensation. This road project, funded by a World Bank loan, is being executed without any compensation for the land, which is in line with the KCCA Act. As a result, only 56% of the landlords have so far agreed contribute part of their land for construction. The delay in construction have been a significant concern given the poor condition this road is in.
Thank the parents who have given us the children. Manange parents, Msaba tubakubire mungalo, adia the children. Let's clap for our children. Thank you for choosing Tropico. I think we've seen what Tropico can deliver, what it can do. And we hope, as the head teacher said, they can do even much better than what we've seen today.
It's one of our schools that we are proud of it because it's a school founded by an educationist that was very well known. I find more than 10 men attending these functions. And I am very serious that even here, if I told the gentlemen and the men that father these children to stand up, you can never get more than 10. And it's a problem why our schools are declining in certain aspects. Because when the women come and decide and do everything here, when they go home to the port, the men turn a deaf ear.
Rose Nakafero was at the Sports Day event organized by Tropical Primary School in Najera, Wakiso District. William Bwambale is the president of the Uganda Primary Schools Sports Association. Henry Mukasansoboga, the director Tropical Primary School, highlighted the importance of sports events.
And competition
and winning and losing in a fair way. Beat them, and that's the way to go. That's how we have managed to win as a team of Cobb.
We do apologize for that mishap. Now, Uganda People's Defense Forces senior officers and group of former National Resistance Army Kadogos have gathered at Nakasero Primary School in Kampala to launch the NRA Kadogos book, which was endorsed by the Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF. Now, in this book, retired Nsereko Mutumba, a former Kadogo, uncovers the untold story of the history of the NRA Kadogos Bush War, the gains and the challenges faced by child freedom fighters during the 5 years guerrilla war.
When NRA Liberation War gained momentum between 1982 to 1985, many Kadogos joined the liberation struggle to respond to the massive counter-insurgency campaign of the Uganda National Liberation Army. Child freedom fighters were widely used in combat and non-combat activities by the National Resistance Army in Luwero Triangle, led by Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
I salute Comrade Nsereko for putting down their story. Some people have been creating stories that we kidnapped these children to become soldiers. But they have told their story, how they actually joined the NRA to get safety, to run away from the government forces over the time.
Former NRA Kadogo Lieutenant Retired Kadogo Nsereko Mutumba authored a book on the history of Kadogos, which has been endorsed by the Commander-in-Chief.
Because I am an ex-NRA Kadogo, I joined the bush when I'm 8 years, and today I'm 50 years. The rest of my colleagues, we're in the same age range. So today is more about celebration of that history of the child freedom fighters that had not been actually accorded the respect it deserves by maybe some others concerned about it.
In this book, Kadogo outlines the gains and how children became armed freedom fighters during the 5-year Bush War.
This is about celebration of Kadogo's sacrifice in the struggle. And it is also about the book launch of their history of that struggle. I appeal to Ugandans to buy that book because it is very, very, very detrimental to sleep. Thank you so much.
As a supervisor of UPDF former schools, Lieutenant Nsereko, I wish to assure you that I will do whatever it takes to ensure that this book finds itself in the libraries of the various schools we have.
The book was launched by Honorable Colonel Retired Amanya Mshega, the former NRA Chief Political Commissar.
Most of these Kadogos were attached senior officers, so they are not used to ordinary life. So the decision was, let's open up a school for these impossible children. Your children. And it was not easy. It looks easy now, but it was not easy.
This is the first official NRA Kadogo book celebrating the contribution of the National Resistance Army Child Freedom Fighters after 43 years.
I would encourage everybody to read this book because then they will know where we have come from. A society that does not read its history or does not know its history gets lost. The young man, not so well educated, so much educated, I mean, has been able to put our history on record.
To all those, most of the officers who are involved in that exercise are no longer with us. And as Kakunguru said then, the majority who were in that meeting then, I doubt whether 20% we are alive.
In attendance, the Chief of Staff Reserve Forces, Brigadier General Sechiranda Mwanje, Defense Public Information Officer, Brigadier General Felix Kraije, Brigadier General Richard Karemire, former NRA Kadogos, among others.
This is very rich history that has continued to shape our present and also the future.
Haruna Mutesasira, UBC News.
Thank you very much, sir.
Amanya gange nze Namutebi Sharon nga nkolera wano wennyini Saka Kirombe oba Makindye. Empangula gye nawanguddemu ssente mbadde nga nkozesa mobile money nga nsindika school fees w'omwana ku ssomero. Okutegeera nti mpangudde nze mutima neegambye nti kambalinde bamale okujja ndyoke nzikirize nti mpangudde. Kyenyinza okubagamba nti si byabafere weewaawo abafere gye bali naye ennamba eri emu yokka era bw'eba ekukubidde omanya eyo si yabafere. Mpulira bulungi nnyo 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 era ndi musanyufu nnyo. Naye MTN mobile money mbebaza nnyo mwebale nnyo mwebalire.
Together we're unstoppable. Gold. We all want it. That soft yellow glow of a subdued sun in your hands. That precious polish of elegance. To hold it is one thing, but to taste it is everything else. Relish the satisfying taste of a beer, unmatched in quality, unmatched in consistency, and with 23 Global Gold Awards. A beer unmatched in gold.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. We're still with you. Now we delve into the business world. Now, at least 413 graduates in fruit farming were passed out at the Delight Noya Agribusiness Institute, the manufacturers of Cheers Juice. The program that targeted women in underserved communities of Yumbe, Madiokolo, Telegu, and Adjumani was funded by the Private Sector Foundation of Uganda through the Growth Fund, a World Bank project. Outdoor training model, 413 beneficiaries were taken through rigorous theoretical and practical fruit farming lessons at the Delight Farm Institute in Woya district. Each cohort of 100 beneficiaries were trained on how to turn fruit farming into a viable money-making business.
I'm so excited that we have touched many lives. People who used not to work, and people who used not to believe in themselves. I'm talking about the women. And the men who used not to support their wives. We have trained them how they can empower themselves economically. When they reach at our farm, they see what we have managed to do. And they do, they master.
Beneficiaries were trained on nursery bed, seed practice, orchard establishment, marketing, and value addition. So now, they have skills on intercropping fruits with food crops to earn through varying seasons.
What have you? I want to come to learn this knowledge to teach my children to take away, kick away poverty.
I established a dairies model. A dairies model is where you do fruit farming as a business for cash crop, but you also do season crops where you get quick money. So we make a woman at least to have 1 acre of land, put fruits for cash crop, and put season crops for quick money. A woman can earn 4.8 million from the season crop in a year.
Various prominent guests have visited the 2,000-acre farm on which Delight Noya Agribusiness Institute is located. Irene Birungi Mugisha, the Chief Executive Officer of the CEO Presidential Forum, was the guest of honor at one of the cohort's graduation and sees immense potential for market linkages using simple technology.
But also talk about market access. These trainings are exposing these women to get to know that you need to work with the technological update. So in these trainings, they're allowed to be informed how the advanced technology is good for them. What are you using the phone that you have at home? You know, do you have to wait to go to the nearest trading center to know the market price? Or you can use your phone to be able to understand what is the market price, the weather changes, when are you in position to plant, when are you in position to harvest.
At his visit to the farm, France's ambassador to Uganda, Xavier Stika, was amazed at the social economic empowerment given to refugees.
I'm aware that the resources dedicated to refugees and host communities are scarce, but we need to invest more in the capacity for refugees and the host communities to grow, be more self-sustainable, as you say, and actually that will be also one of Uganda's assets.
Given the land ownership limitations for women in these communities, the women train with their husbands, who are officially requested for land user rights.
We beg for land user rights from the husband. We train the women, then they do for themselves. After having the land, they plant the fruits, they plant the season crops, and we train them from production up to marketing, up to value addition, then they start earning.
But also some of the examples given by their husbands saying, now, we know I can easily appreciate this woman to be in the community because they're adding value.
Empowering communities through agriculture is part of a greater purpose for Dr. Julian Adieri Omara and calls for more partnerships to realize impact. Wadulo Makanold for UPC News.
Shocking statistics on road crashes in Uganda show that there were over 23,608 road accidents in a single year, 2023. This highlights an increase of 16% compared to the previous year. The Uganda Traffic and Road Safety Report of 2023 also shows that there were 24,728 casualties from road crashes, with 4,806 people dead, 16,736 seriously injured, and 3,186 escaping with minor injuries. The rampant increase in the number of road crashes and casualties in Uganda is seriously alarming. According to Uganda Police Traffic Report, 80% of road crashes in Uganda are as a result of speeding, reckless driving, and violation of traffic rules and regulations. Your life and that of other road users matters. Every life taken or injured in a road crash is an emotional loss to a family, resource loss to a business, development contribution loss to a community, and a socio-economic loss to the nation. Join hands together to reduce and, if possible, eliminate road crashes from our roads by avoiding reckless driving, obeying traffic signs and rules, and maintaining public safety intelligence to keep ourselves, passengers and other road users safe at every time. Remember, drive safe today to live again tomorrow. Tofira kukubo.
Welcome back. It's now time for sports. Uganda's national Woodball team is to contest in the upcoming World Cup and has been officially, the team that is to contest in the Woodball World Cup has officially been unveiled. This happened on the day of the 2024 President's Cup at Lugogo.
The Cricket Oval at Lugogo has hosted the 7th edition of the President's Woodball Cup Championship that has brought together a record attendance.
In Uganda, we have over 50 national sports federations. The number is not the issue. But as Uganda Woodball Federation, I want to assure you and take my commitment that we shall die to remain up there in everything we shall do, in terms of organization, in terms of preparation, in terms of performance. Can you put your hands and clap for that?
The championship was used to officially unveil the national Woodball team to contest the Woodball World Cup later this year.
As you know, Woodball is a special game. It allows you opportunity, having excelled in the local and regional, to participate internationally. It should be your ambition as a woodballer that your annual calendar should not end before you participate in at least one international event. So those of you from the corporate world who have qualified to participate at the World Cup, I congratulate you along with the national team. Thank you very, very much.
The occasion was graced by National Council of Sports Assistant General Secretary David Katende.
To the participants, I want to thank you so much for turning up in big numbers for this competition, because it is you who actualize competitions, and you are the ones who make competitions happen. Without you, there will be no competitions, and therefore, as we are gathered here, the most important people for the President's Cup are the participants that have turned up today. Thank you for coming. I also want to use this opportunity to appeal to you as participants to take advantage of the different competitions that come your way, to fine-tune your skills, to develop your talent, to improve yourselves, to win accolades for yourself and clubs, to get selected for other continental and world championships, and also to win tournaments and medals for our dear motherland, Uganda.
The team is of 9 ladies and 9 men and will be tutored by Georgie Sabirie. It includes Deli Kankunda, Thomas Kedi, Tony Sechene, Joyce Nalubega, Mirembe Sanyu, Joan Mukova, Alvera Mukama Arinda, and Precious Namubiru.
I feel good and so blessed, because this is not easy, and being the youngest player doesn't mean I know much, but it means I've worked hard.
The team will also include youth players like Jeremiah Tumuhimbise, Praise Ahurira, Susan Atwine, and Shanita Heira.
When we're coming to Kampala, Shekaina had to come. We are going to Nairobi, Shekaina is coming. We are going to China, Shekaina is coming. And I'm happy because God has always helped us about that. God has always been with us. And also, some people say that Woodball is just a game, but Woodball is not just a game. Since I started playing Woodball, I had fun with this sport. Even if I'm playing Woodball and you tell me that come and we play this, I can say let me first finish this game, or let me first finish playing, then we play.
In the President's Cup, that attracted more than 15 teams, prisons and public service Woodball clubs emerged triumphant among the seniors, while Ampoma and Luzira beat all in the respective gender youth categories.
I want to learn this sport because I was inspired by my team from Ministry of Public Service, and particularly Fred Turiachira. Fred Turiachira introduced the game in Ministry of Public Service and it was embraced. I want to thank you for embracing this sport in Ministry of Public Service, and we want to assure you we will keep supporting. We will support you and support you. Now we have come to a bigger family of the Woodball Association here. So we are going to support the entire Woodball family.
Other winners that took home trophies and cash prizes included Thomas Kedi, Ryan Nankendo, Shafik Walugembe, Brian Okidi, Godfrey Kaoya, Makoha Michael, and Mare Hassan.
And that brings us to the end of the 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. Thank you for being a lovely audience. I have been your news anchor, Wadulo Mark Arnold, and Dorothy Namuyomba on sign language. From the team behind the scenes, we must say have a lovely week and a good night.